Juan-O's world.
My baby mama trippin', she been going through my phone. Tired of me cheating, I can't leave these hoes alone. Hella pics, hella tips on my cash app. It's like, hold up a minute. What up, though, y'all? Welcome to Juan-O's world. Now, some of y'all may have seen this whole Drake suing this record label thing. Some of y'all may be hip, some of y'all may not be. I've been kind of playing the backfield on this type of thing because I didn't exactly know what my angle was on it or how I felt about it, shall we say. But we getting to a point where now it's actually official and it's a real lawsuit. And some of these things are things to consider as a content creator. What I will say for sure is the method to get your song heard is pretty hard and expensive. It's so much music released every day, and it's not like people just get a common view of everything that comes out. Certain things are put on your playlist no matter what you pick to listen to. And I always wonder, how does that happen? We about to find out with this lawsuit. Let's check it out. Shout out to my man's Anton Daniels. He from the city. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do a whole video about Anton, man. I fucks with Anton. A lot of people don't. I do.
Drake versus Kendrick Lamar saga, which I believe is Drake versus everybody at this point.
Right.
Because not only have people pick sides, but we've also seen him take on a major record label, his major record label, and basically suing them for defamation, as this article courtesy of the New York Times is saying Drake is suing his label, calling Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us defamatory. I'll go down and drop in, and they'll say, during a venomous back and forth barrage of diss tracks last year, the rappers Drake and Kendrick Lamar accused each other of phoniness.
Now, let's stop right here. There's one point of contentions that everybody is having because it was accusations made in both songs. Now, I can understand the accusation of being a PDF file. I can see that being more slanderous than anything. So it's a lot of people like, well, you was dissing him and he was dissing you. What's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? But especially in this day and age, being called a PDF file, I can understand. That is like, you know,
hypocrisy and abuse. But while fans anointed Kendrick Lamar's chart-topping single Not Like Us, the battle's knockout blow, Drake saw the song's punchlines invoking pedo accusations, as well as something far more insidious with real-world consequences. In a lawsuit filed Wednesday, today, in federal court, the artist born as Arbery Drake Graham sued Universal Music Group, the record company behind both rappers, for defamation and harassment, calling its release and promotion of Not Like Us an example of valuing corporate greed over the safety and well-being of its artists.
See, man, let me put it to you in blue collar terms. He just called OSHA, man. He went to human resources, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we on the job, y'all showing favoritism. And to be honest with you, man, I kind of understand this. I feel it because I see some lawsuits going on in my own city, whereas what a person used to be 15, 20 years ago and do for a living may not coincide with who they are today. And when you get to trying to defame somebody for something you heard or something you think or something you just made up that may have been from X amount of years away, you can be doing damage to their livelihood. And we're not living in a world where you can say something on the internet about me and I could just come kill you and get away with it. If we was living, if that was possible, then you would have less lawsuits. I promise you that shit. But seeing how we can't do it like that, it's going to be lawsuits. I asked myself, what would I do? And to be honest with you, I can't be sure because, well, Juan-O's world doesn't make me a lot of money, but it's not in the red either. And it has potential to make me limitless. So somebody defaming that would bother me a little bit. That would affect my business. And in that situation, as a businessman, suing is an option. I mean, we all already got lawyers we paying. Why not?
The suit brought in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York accuses Universal of having approved, published, and launched a campaign to create a viral hit out of a rap track that was intended to convey the specific, unmistakable, and false factual allegation that Drake is a criminal pedo, and to suggest that the public should resort to vigilante justice in response. Goes on to say, noting that the cover art for Not Like Us feature a photo of Drake's Toronto home dotted with markers meant to represent the presence of a registered offenders. We know what the word is. The complaint invokes a shooting at the residence days after, or it said it invoked a shooting at the residence days after the release that injured a security guard, calling it the 2024 equivalent of Pizzagate, and cites two other attempted trespasses in the days that followed. Obviously, we
Can't dispute none of these facts. I mean, I can't. I mean, a lot of the times when you're doing what you got to do, it don't look good. But this is one of them things. If they could do it to him, they could do it to you. And that's where it get kind of funny at. That's why people got to stand up when things happen to him. We may not understand. This dude is he himself is $1 billion business. It's not like he has a product that makes $1 billion or he owns a company. He is the company. So we're putting him in human terms, but in this situation, he is a company. He probably employ over 60, 70 people, making 6 figures a year. You know what I'm saying? He probably has 4 pilots alone, and you know they making more than half a ticket a year. Like stuff like that. Like you affecting and then like what people don't understand, sometimes in these matters, you, the person, don't have a choice. You got investors, you have liability insurance, you got a lot of things going on. Like for Juan-O's world, it's liability insurance. If somebody defames me or something like that, they may deem it necessary to sue because I'm an investment of theirs. If someone sues me, they may deem it necessary for us to settle and jump in front of me and settle because, again, we're in business together. See, just because you see the person doesn't mean that they have complete control over everything. This is what Michael Jackson was trying to explain to you. He had no choice in the matter of whether he settled that lawsuit based on how his insurances was set up, which is why he did differently later in life. But some of us don't even know that's how some of these policies work until you in a jam. And the insurance company lawyers show up and tell your lawyers a strategy, and then shit get convoluted. But they don't put that on TV. But I'm gonna give you that piece of the pie, so you'll have your whole cake.
You can see what the cover art is right here.
Yeah,
it goes on to say the suit was brought on behalf of Drake by Michael Gottlieb, a partner at the firm Wilkie, Farr, and Gallagher, who has previously represented the owner of the Washington pizzeria targeted by Pizzagate conspiracy theories and the election workers, falsely accused by Rudolph Giuliani of aiding a false plot to steal the 2020 presidential election. Got the big dogs. In November, Drake had initiated pre-litigation actions against Universal in the state court in New York and Texas, naming Spotify and radio conglomerate iHeartMedia as potential participants in an elaborate scheme to promote Not Like Us using bots and payola. On Tuesday, representatives for Drake.
So he is low-key snitching, but then, I mean, in my opinion, what Drake doing is gonna make it better for independent artists. Since they did him like that, he blowing the whole table up. Is it petty? To a degree. To a degree. But like, let's be clear, Drake been allowed to do all type of shit that you wouldn't allow a dark-skinned rapper to do all of this time. A dark-skinned rapper would have had to get married by now. A dark-skinned rapper would have been getting name drugged through the mud for hitting everybody. But y'all, you know, when it come to him, Common, it's a list of light-skinned niggas. They let them do whatever. So, I mean, I get it. Get your money, and then it's all business. The fucking record label got a big ass insurance policy too that may tell them to just settle because it's gonna be too much damage if this lawsuit comes out. So like you got to consider all these things. At the end of the day, it's a business deal, and then you got to also consider Drake just did a $400 million deal a couple of years ago, and he about due to re-up. With something like this going on, they could offer him less money and lock him into a worse contract. He's a fucking legacy artist. Like he can't allow that. This probably supposed to be his $1 billion year. Is he gonna let this ruin that? I wouldn't. Ain't no telling what he went through to get to this point. So how can you know? But this is where we trick each other at. We try to compete with each other to leave things on the table for others. It's like you ain't a real nigga if you don't let them get away with this or you don't let them get away with that. Like, yo, he's standing up to the Jays. Make no mistake about it. He's standing up to them people, kind to his own people. And a lot of people don't do that. So for that right there, I'm riding with him. And then for the fact of an independent artist, these politics make it impossible for you to have a good song and get it heard unless you cozy up to the right person and kiss ass, or you slip through on YouTube, which at the Glorilla is becoming kind of hard. It's becoming kind of hard. They it's becoming kind of hard. It used to be pretty easy. You put a good song with a video on YouTube, people start sharing it, they catch a buzz, you know what I'm saying? But things get capped on YouTube. Now I had a song shoot up to 100,000 views, almost 200,000, and then it gets to a certain point where it's just like instantly, like how does it go up that fast and then stop? And then the retention rate of the video is the whole video. The analytics don't make sense. You know, it got to be bigger things at play, but hey.
Withdrew the earlier filing in New York against Universal and Spotify in favor of a federal lawsuit filed Wednesday. A hearing in the Texas matter, which includes iHeartMedia, was delayed until later this month. In a statement, at the time, a spokesperson for Universal said the suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns. No amount of contrived or absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans chose the music they want to hear. So basically, Universal is saying that the people are the ones that determined what was popping, and it wasn't them. They had no doing whatsoever in the promotion, the aiding, the abetting, and the allegations that's being alleged inside of this lawsuit.
Let's see what
goes on to say the long simmering tension between Drake and Lamar, who had collaborated earlier in their careers.
All right, Tom. Let's see what Tom got to his own personal opinion about it.
And in their death. And so what this has been versus continuing to put himself in a position to be at the record labels mercy and giving up a significant amount of profits, because I don't think that Drake believes personally, whether you think it's true or not, I think that Drake don't believe that he that he needs a record label in order to run it up. I believe that Drake thinks that he's bigger than the labels. Now, we can debate that back and forth, and I know that a lot of people are so gullible that they believe that this is really a Not Like Us versus me, but I think that this is an opportunity for Drake to be able to get out of this whole record label, because it's the only logical reason as to why he would file this lawsuit.
Right.
The only logical reason whatsoever. Listen, Drake is Drake. He's not like these other people. Kendrick Lamar.
I would have to agree. And then being able to get your re-up out of them and your freedom, they got to be priceless. And then if this lawsuit go through and he wins, he probably going to be able to get whatever masters or his points back from them as well. There's no telling what else then went on in this contract. No, not to mention there's no telling how they promote bullshit to us. And as a parent, I'm itching to see. And with that being said, we out of here, man. And look here. While you be advising niggatry in the business world, remember this. A lot of the same people that own these record labels own the prisons too. And they are mechanically promoting algorithmically things to your kids, things to us. They promoting bad behavior to your woman. They make your woman think it's socially acceptable for her to be loud and difficult continuously, right to her phone. That shit is controlled. And then you know how it is. Somebody feeds you bad enough, you'll start picking bad shit to eat. That's just the human psychology. And on that note, we out, bro.